What's going on, everybody? We in the stew, baby. Man, it feels like it's been the longest week of my freaking life. It is so good to see all of you beautiful people. Welcome to the Colby J. Ryan Show. We got a few things to talk about today. Now, you know what? I wasn't going to start here because I don't want to be that guy, but I'm driving around. You guys know I live in Arizona, and I saw our gas prices going up, and like my feed is people crying over gas prices. It's everybody. And, I see the people in the comments going, okay, get your money up. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but anytime that everything is baseline $5 or more, we've got a problem. So I'm driving around, and yesterday it was $4.99 across most of the place that I drove. Today it was $5.09 up to $5.15. And some people are upset that it's $4 where you live. I don't know where you guys live, but I do know that if somebody does not come get their mans and change the gas prices, I'm going to start crying too. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not the type to complain, but I'm going to complain about this. Stop it. Stop it. We have bags of chips that are $7.30, and we've got gas that is astronomical, and it keeps going up. Can we slow down? Can you explain to me why? Can we slow down and say, hey, what's going on here? Right? Like, why are you in this state and you get it over here? Like, was it shorter trip to you? I don't understand. Oh my gosh, Amy. Stacy, you know what you like to do, Stacy? You like to come in here and you like to start problems. I'm a whole dollar plus ahead of you. You like to start problems. So that's where I wanted to start tonight. If you guys are paying for more than $5 for gas or around $5, I'm sorry. And it's horrible. It is horrible. Welcome to the stream. All right, so today we're going to cover a couple different things. Number one, I wanted to jump into, I've seen a couple things that are rolling around. You guys know that Tiger Woods is a very, very famous, if not the second or arguable in the golf community, to be one of the greatest golfers ever. He was really, really big, I would say, in the earlier 2000s because he was so young and he was just dominating. Well, Tiger's also known for one other thing, right? As of right now, this is the third time that Tiger Woods has been in a DUI situation, or a DUI in a sense of under some kind of influence, not just alcohol itself. Now, what's interesting about this is because we do have a tendency when it comes to people who are celebrities, we talk about this all the time, we almost dehumanize them. Now, I have an issue with the argument that's happening right now is that some people are saying Tiger needs to be held accountable. Doesn't matter who you are. And a part of me really does agree with that, because just because you're rich and famous shouldn't get you out of, situations where you're putting others at danger. At the end of the day, the problem that I have with the DUI and having it happen multiple times is that you're putting others at danger. But we want to soften on the other side and just say, look, this is a human being, someone who makes mistakes and lives a life that we don't understand. Right? That's kind of the biggest problem. So we're going to be talking about that. And now I also want to talk about something else. Okay. This is actually really funny. And this is something that Tess brought up too, is Afroman and his lawsuit with the police is something I don't even know how to explain. So we're going to get into that today. Let's just say that I did not know trolling could be so expensive. So without further ado, welcome to the wave, baby.
Welcome to the wave. Current news.
We're at the wave, baby. We're going to be watching this video. I'm going to be stopping it a little bit, but I want you guys to get some context here. Now, I do not agree. Hold on, let me move this chat. You guys can't even see my gosh dang face. I do not fully agree with the thumbnail. Freaking A. I don't fully agree with putting someone's face who's going through it as a thumbnail like this, but this is e-news. They've got to catch your attention, so they're obviously going to make it as dramatic as possible. So let's get into this. I want you guys to see something that's actually reported from the news so we can talk about it after.
What's Tiger?
Sitting stone-faced in the same shirt from his DUI arrest and mugshot, Tiger was released after spending a mandatory 8 hours in custody and posting bail, which was set at just over $1,000.
Okay, now here's the only thing. He flipped the car. Okay, we're not talking about like a little bump in the road. We're talking about flipping the car over on its side, having to crawl out by also nearly clipping somebody. So we'll get into that, but let's go for it.
Tiger was planning to continue his golf comeback at next month's Masters, but according to his close friend and teammate Kevin Kisner, that now hangs in the balance.
Yeah, very disturbing. You know, obviously he was really working hard on his game, trying to practice, get back in shape, and just a really unfortunate incident. The only positive is that nobody was injured.
The two were.
So you can see, if we go back just right here, right there. I mean, the car itself, bro, is freaking flipped over. So
the two were on the green together just 6 days ago at the TGL Finals. Also there, girlfriend of 1 year, Vanessa Trump, who is reportedly furious and humiliated, with a source telling the Daily Mail, quote, "It's a definite red flag, and she told him that."
Oh boy. Sources from the Daily Mail. Interesting. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's keep going.
He has to get things under control, or she's not going to stick around.
Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment. They believe it was some type of medication or drug. Of course, he
looks like he's pretty faded on something.
Did explain the injuries and the surgeries that he had.
Tiger has been dealing with multiple debilitating health struggles. Last October, he had lumbar disc replacement in his spine. And
that's rough, man. That's freaking rough.
2021, he flipped his car in California, which nearly cost him his leg.
I'm lucky to be alive, but also still had the limb.
As for Tiger,
the thing is, okay, but that's my problem here, Tiger. I'm not saying at all that you aren't lucky to be alive or anything of that nature. The problem that I have simply is that this is like the multiple situations and where this keeps happening, and you're in a position where just because you are who you are, I don't know. I mean, you're putting people and yourself at risk over and over and over being under the influence while you drive. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
There's potential legal consequences. Under Florida law, failing to provide a urine test after a DUI arrest triggers immediate license suspension and vehicle impounding. Prosecutors could pursue more severe penalties, considering this isn't Tiger's first DUI arrest.
There you go.
I'm placing you under arrest. All right, go ahead and spread your feet for me.
Back in 2017.
The problem is, this is, like they just said, it's 2017, 2021, and 2026. The point is, if somebody is constantly under the influence, I heard a great point made to say, look, you are definitely making enough money to where you can go and hire someone to drive you around. That's number one. Not that I'm saying that you have to, because everybody should be able to do what they want, but there also shouldn't be a position in where you absolutely refuse that and you can't afford it, and it would keep you out of trouble and it would keep other people safe. Because let's just say what it is. Going out of your way to drive under the influence is putting everybody at risk. And if he would have hit the wrong person, their life is gone, all because you wanted to drive. Whether you're on medications, it doesn't matter. You know better. Like, that's the only thing that I have a problem with this, is that you know better. And exactly why does this happen? When we watch body cams, bro, it's in Florida. What the hell's going on down there? What do we need to come down there and have an intervention in Florida? Man, gosh dang. We gotta chill, Florida.
Tiger was found asleep behind the wheel with Vicodin, Xanax, Ambien, and THC in his.
Bruh, hold on. I want you guys to understand. Let me make me small here. Let me go in my little box and switch this thing. Look at this. Wait, I just made myself bigger. Whatever. Frick this freaking thing. It pisses me off. Vicodin, Xanax, Ambien, THC. Every single one of those is going to put you to sleep, brother. You're singing lullabies with warm milk and nani, okay? This is not something that is going to keep you awake. If you took a Vicodin and a Xanax, you're toast. I've only ever had pain meds, which is Vicodin. I don't know if I've ever had a Xanax, but I know Ambien is a sleep medication, and I don't know if THC makes you tired or not, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that it does. So this combo is called night, baby, night. And then you want to drive after that, dog. You can't tell me that this was the move, man. I know he balls. I know he golfs, but come on, bro. This is crazy.
THC in his system. He ultimately pled guilty to reckless driving, and in the dash cam footage, Tiger could be heard slurring his words.
You're just driving around, or what?
I like to drive.
I'm sorry?
I like to drive.
You like to drive?
I like to drive. Listen, bro, you can drive if you're not on Xanax, Vicodin, THC, and Ambien, bro. Go ahead and drive. Nobody's trying to stop you from driving. It's just the combination that you're under the influence on, but whatever.
2009, Tiger also crashed into a fire hydrant amid news he had multiple affairs while married to ex-wife Elin.
I am so
This is unnecessary, but whatever.
sorry. I had affairs. I cheated. But I convinced myself that normal rules didn't apply.
So
I think he still feels that way. I think that's why he's saying that, because if you are a mega celebrity, I do think it's got to get to your head to think that you are the top of your game of something, then you can get away with whatever you want. But I'm assuming because that's what he said.
why did a man worth an estimated $1.5 billion not hire a driver given his past
There you
record?
go.
According to a report, the fiercely private star, quote, doesn't want anyone to watch over him.
All right, Tiger, look, I get that. I wouldn't really necessarily want a driver, but I'm not going somewhere to where I wouldn't want them to know. I understand being private and like any type of public eye. You guys need to understand that if anybody is this popular, they genuinely probably can't go anywhere. Like, forget about going out to eat with your friends. Forget about going on vacation normal. Forget about hopping on a plane. You don't really have those options anymore. You are now basically just stuck in, constantly trying to swerve, no pun intended, by the way, swerve out of the way of everything. Because at the end of the day, I gotta take this off. This is like one of those situations, in my personal opinion, where yes, you can't go do all that stuff, but if you want to drive around, that's fine. It just can't be at the detriment of other human beings. Imagine, again, these scenarios happen every single day. People are just looking at their phone, not intoxicated, not anything like that, and they crash and they take lives. What if you take someone's life and you are just because you wanted to because you like to drive? I'm sorry. I can't rock with that.
Or know what he is doing.
You've done a great job of protecting your privacy.
Well, yes, yeah, but that's why we have a private life.
I don't know why ET threw that in there. What do you guys think about that? I mean, really the discussion I want to have here is simply why, as a society, do sometimes celebrities seem to feel like they're not human? And this is a negative, and I guess we could call it a positive. But what I like to kind of ground people in is like, their life might be different. Somebody that famous is not going to move different. If you guys have ever watched any behind the scenes of somebody who's famous, a perfect example is in The Last Dance. Michael Jordan discusses how he genuinely cannot go anywhere. He can't go out to eat. He can't live a normal life. And everywhere he goes, people literally. Now, again, Michael Jordan was the most popular athlete, if you want to say ever, especially in the 90s, going overseas. But a sea of people came around, so he couldn't go live normal life. But the point is, you also are a grown 50-year-old man who has been in this situation multiple times. I'm not saying people can't make mistakes, but the mistake that you are, the choice you're making on a regular basis to go out and be intoxicated to that degree. We need to talk about the degree of how unbelievably intoxicated you would be with a mixture of substances. So I want to know what you guys think about, do we, with celebrities, kind of just let them? Because what happened is he gets arrested, he gets his little bail, and he walks out the back and leaves, right? I'm not saying, I'm begging and saying, yes, go give him all these consequences, go make sure that he does this. But 3 times, how many times is 4 or 5? Then one of those times is going to possibly take someone's life because he obviously doesn't want to stop. Now, again, if you're going to go get intoxicated, go get a freaking driver. It's that simple. There's no way you have no excuse. No normal person can't hire someone. The normal person can't go buy a freaking van and hire a driver to take them around places. You 1000% can. You have enough money to spend on that. Now, let's talk about the privacy part. I could understand wanting your privacy, but you, as Tiger Woods or any other major celebrity that is a very, very, very household name, is not going to find a lot of solace anywhere. So if you're driving on your own, that's cool. You like to be behind the wheel. Just simply don't be intoxicated. It's the law for every single person for a reason. And I mean, we could go into a whole debate about people who even text and drive. I've done really tried really hard to not even look at my phone when I'm driving. Like, don't skip your music, don't look down at your phone, because it's just that 2-second lapse in judgment and you can get in an accident. But for him, the problem again is that the debate that I'm seeing online here, and what really made me question that is, because celebrities are different, why does the law change now? Because if that was someone else and it was their third or fourth time, there would be a lot more consequences. Again, this is not to cast the judgment on him, right? This is to open up a bigger conversation on how we're treating each other based off of status. It doesn't matter, right? If I have done this and this was my third, fourth time doing something like this, putting people in danger, how in the world would I keep getting away with doing the same exact situation? And I'm now flipping cars. I mean, come on, bro. I'm sorry, but I can't defend this. I've seen people like, he's a human being, we need to give him a break. Yeah, of course. Is it fair that like he's a topic of our conversation? Not necessarily. But at the same time, it does prove a point that we are constantly treating people differently based off of their class and based off of their status in life. That's all I'm saying. I completely agree. Hire dryer. Plus, if you want privacy, maybe don't flip a car. Freaking Emily. Yeah, I agree with that's my point. If you want privacy, stop freaking crashing and causing scenes and damages. And for you to say, okay, I am extremely lucky, I survived. By the way, if you haven't seen his California thing, he rolled out on the California hills. He could have died within a split second or lost his leg. He's unbelievably lucky. That in turn should also be your lesson. Hey, you are risking your life. Stop. This is a great time for you to stop this behavior, putting yourself and others in danger. Again, now let's go back to what I've been seeing too. This is another topic inside of this realm that I thought was interesting. What I've seen is that right now, you guys know Tesla and all these other companies have really wanted to get on self-driving modes to make it safer. And at first, when I heard this, I saw this graph and I saw what people were saying. They're saying by a certain point in the near future, within the next 20 years, that each car would have no drivers and everything would run on a track, right? And at first I was like, okay, maybe in the city, but there's certain jobs you can't do that. You can't take away someone who drives up in the mountains to do construction work on a freaking no wheel. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not hopping in a car with no wheel. I'm not letting iRobot drive me around and Vicky decide what my fate is. No, thank you. And I'm not going to let Optimus Prime do it. And I'm not going to let Bumblebee do it. And I'm not going to let anybody who's a robot do it. So what I will say is this. Human beings make mistakes. Human beings look at their phone perfectly sober and get in accidents every day, or whatever the case may be. Number one rule to me on the road is that you need to be smart and you need to be as vigilant. You need to be a defensive driver and you need to be as careful as possible, because at any moment something can happen and you have to be paying attention. You're literally in a freaking traveling metal box with glass going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. It's not a joke. Now back to one simple point. We can still look at Tiger as a human being and say, yeah, he's made mistakes. We're not here to try to just cast judgment on him. But we are going to have to say enough is enough when you're a danger to society. Do you know that is exactly what I have said about people who I feel need to be away from society are dangers. As we all agree, people who are murderers or people who continue to do certain things should be put away because they are endangering society. Let's be honest. This is a third incident of endangering the society around you. It's a great call to be better, and about that damn time to hire a driver, brother. Please, you've got billions. You've made your money from Nike. And again, I'm trying to, I'm trying so hard to like give him an understanding as a human, because let's go back to, I just saw someone's comment. I don't know if I missed you. He's probably dealing with things that we don't understand. I get that. People do have a tendency when it comes to celebrities, and it's going to go into the next piece also by Afroman. But when we look at celebrities and we see these people who we think have money or know have money because it's reported, whatever the case may be, we do dehumanize them. And we dehumanize the fact that they go through emotions and feelings and have hard things happen in their lives. And the only thing they have is a lot of money, and that doesn't really change everything. You know, money doesn't solve every problem. I don't care what Ariana Grande says. She wants to talk that smack to me in her song about, well, you didn't have enough money to solve your problems. Frick you, Ariana. Okay? Go back to playing cat and you stop talking all the crap to me. The reality is people are always going to go through things, whether you have money or not. We don't know what it's like to be an all-time celebrity, a Tiger Woods, a LeBron James, a Michael Jordan, a top of your class person, because you get treated probably different everywhere you go. Everybody recognizes you. So could he be dealing with real life stuff and that's why this keeps happening? Sure. Could that be a cry for help? Sure. The problem is you can't keep coming back and putting everyone else at danger because you're going through shit. I don't like that. That is not an excuse for anybody or anything. You cannot tell me I'm so traumatized that I get to go and F up everything else. And I hate to be that guy because it's not supposed to be about tough love, but I've really realized like that whole notion, hurt people is such a BS excuse for people to do things. Yes, you're hurt, but hurting someone else or putting yourself in a position to go and hurt others because you want to drive, because you want to get drunk and then you want to speed down the highway, that's a choice you made, right? It's not a good decision and a decision you made while your mind was clouded. But I would say if you're over the age, I would say 20, I want to know, maybe 25 to 30, maybe 30 and up, when you're just like a little bit more mature and your brain has had time to develop and you're not really in that place where you just don't know how to see things for what they are, it's really hard to start giving ourselves those excuses. That's honestly a mess. So I can give you, yes, both sides. Tiger Woods probably deals with things I'll never understand. I'll never pretend and sit here I know what his life is like or judge him for cheating or this and that. Yeah, we all have our opinions on things, but we don't know context behind every single situation. But to sit here and give ourselves an excuse to drive drunk, does that give me that excuse? That's the same thing. What if I said, well, you know what? I've had a hard freaking life. And guess what? The last couple of weeks for me, really hard. But I'm going to go drink and then I'm going to go get in my car and I'm just going to see where the hell I end up. No, I'm sorry. No, it's just not going to work. It's not going to fly. And as a society, we need to be able to say two things can be true at once that contradict each other. Does that make sense? Yes, he's in pain and deserves to be helped if he's going through something that causes him to relapse and do this thing over and over and over. But at the same time, it's wrong for him to go and drive on the street and F around and possibly kill somebody. This isn't Grand Theft Auto. These are real consequences for himself and for anybody else. And I'm sure some people would go out of their way to get hit by Tiger so they could sue him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a joke. But I can't acknowledge someone and say, yes, you can tell me this was an excuse. I know what pain feels like. And I'm not saying that I am perfect by any means. I've done things out of hurt. I'm just telling you as a man now, as someone who's matured and understands that it's not okay to say, well, I did this and put all these other people in danger because I was going through a hard time. It's just not going to fly. It just can't. Kathy says, you've been through more than anybody I've ever known. I can't see you treating anyone that way or putting anyone else in danger. Well, and the thing is too, when you are in pain, you're not the same person. So I'll give Tiger credit. Like, people think, again, we have to start understanding just because he has money doesn't mean he doesn't go through pain. Doesn't mean there's stuff in his life that's probably super stressful and demands. And imagine having to perform all the time, regardless if you're gifted or not. Tiger is a performer. He has to perform and people have expectations of him and he has to be someone who constantly shows up and performs. Now, the thing is, when it comes down to, okay, how do I deal with this? That's not the answer. And this is a pattern. So when you look at us as people, you have to see the patterns. When it happens multiple times, and the person keeps coming back and going for help. The thing that he could do is that he could go get, there's multiple options right now that I don't even know him that I would give him advice in. Number one, you need help for yourself. You need some therapy. So you can be a whole person. Excuse me. You can be a whole person. You deserve that. So go get that therapy. Number two, outside of that, you have the literal financial advantage of being able to have a driver. The thing that everybody is really hitting on and what we just saw, and if you go right here, I'm going to show you this part of the clip one more time, because in this part of the clip, this is why he says he won't get a driver, and it's this.
not hire a driver given his past record. According to a report, the fiercely private star, quote, doesn't want anyone to watch over him or.
This is what people are going crazy about. It's this quote. He doesn't want anyone to watch over him or know what he's doing. Now, I get it. Everyone is entitled to their privacy. He shouldn't have to have somebody babysitting him or whatever the case is. But it's the other defensive side is simply, does that mean that you are doing things that are so private that you literally want nobody in the world to know? Look how what are you doing? You got to go back to where you belong, Light. Now you're crooked again. But that's the problem that I have with it is he's making a reason and excuse that he doesn't want anybody to do this. But the next time could be the last time. And I just want to say that because I know I've talked about this with other people who have had any kind of addiction or anything of that nature. But the next time could be your last time. Today could be your last day. And we're living a little too light sometimes. You shouldn't take life so seriously that you can't have fun or enjoy or do anything. But the problem is you're also not realizing that decision, which again, if you're intoxicated, you're not thinking clearly. But man, I mean, there's just some people get intoxicated every single weekend and make a decision to have a designated driver and or an Uber. You could get somebody who just picks you up or whatever the case may be, bro. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what it's like to have all that money and what it would be like. But my point being, I'm not a big fan of this, and I can't really give him any excuse. So I can understand, I can empathize, I can understand him from a human perspective, but what I can't do is sit here and pretend that this is all Gucci. That's all I'll say. All right, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into our next segment here, and I am going to share with you our next. This is, look, I have seen this all over too. And oh, please tell me it's going to pull up. You're a lie. No shot, bro. It's not going to let us do it live. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, we're going to go into it anyway. Whatever. You can't stop me. Wow, it's not going to let us show the scene. Oh, it is. Okay, good. I thought I was about to trip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to watch this together. This is the wait, hold on. I'm sorry. It's really funny, and I don't know what the frick this is supposed to be, but if I could press X, I would. All right, so rapper Afroman wins his lawsuit against the police over mocking their 2022 raid in a viral music video. Now, if you guys have ever heard the song Because I Got High, and again, I don't know why I remember this so vividly because I had never heard this kind of music growing up, but I remember that my dad Charles was listening to the song with his sons in the car when my mom and him were dating, and it was a shock because I was definitely a green grass guy, whatever you want to call me. I was very, very, very no, I wouldn't say sheltered, but I was just sheltered to certain things. So we're sitting here and this song starts playing. It's Because I Got High. I was like, oh my gosh. I was in shock. Okay. I was one of those kids who had his tie up here. I did not know the world was like that. So anyway, this song that he is known for and Grammy nominated for is Because I Got High, which whatever. This is so funny because there was a raid on his house, and this was a long time ago, by the way. This is from 2022. There was a tip that he had some paraphernalia at his house. So the police raided it with a warrant, and Afroman Joseph, we'll call him Joseph or Afroman, whatever you'd like, goes out and makes a viral music video mocking the cops that raided his house because they were unlawful. And so I want to present that to you, and I'll show it to you right now. So let me play this.
Jury ruling in favor of the rapper Afroman in a lawsuit filed by Adams County deputies over a viral music video. Now, the case stems from...
First of all, look at this fit. Afroman wins lawsuit over viral. Look at this fit, bro. He's got his own cup jeweled the frick up. Homie is iced And look at these glasses, bro. Man, come on. It doesn't get better than that. Come on, Joseph.
A 2022 search of the rapper's home where
love it.
deputies were looking for drugs and a possible kidnapping victim.
Okay, now this is the part where it gets very serious very quickly. There was an accusation from a former employee of Afroman who was a, let's call her, she said she was a personal assistant and they were trying to protect her identity, but basically said that she was, and I have to be very careful because you know how YouTube gets, but was saying that people were in the basement being, there's no other way to run it. So you know what, YouTube, figure it out. They said allegedly that there were people tied up and they were going to the bathroom in buckets in the basement. And this is why they had a lawful reason to come and raid the house. Now, I don't think you guys, if you're not thinking about what a raid is, we're talking about guns drawn, multiple people bursting in your literal house, searching it from all over the place. So I want you to read this, and then we're gonna read the article as well.
Nothing was found, and Afroman later used security footage from that raid and several music.
Look at the door. Can we slow down? This is lawful because they have a warrant. Look at this. Watch this door. Boom, baby. That's Bobby Boucher with it. Are you kidding me? Do you see how freaking hard that thing just got clipped? I mean, like, anyway, we'll keep going.
Security footage from that raid and several music videos. Deputies argued the videos harmed their reputations. Jurors, though, found Afroman not liable on all 13 claims, including defamation and invasion of privacy.
So I want to read you this, okay? Adams County, Ohio, the Grammy-nominated rapper Afroman won a defamation lawsuit filed by 7 Ohio sheriff's deputies who sued him over music videos. Now, the music videos themselves are him making fun of them for walking in. This is where defamation, now I need to go into this because I actually had to look up what defamation was back in the day because there's a lot of things being said online. I was like, what is defamation? Because I had people messaging me back in like 2020 that I should be talking about defamation for certain companies and for certain people because there's a line of where you cross where it is literally defamatory. Now, I'm not going to use Brandon Boudreaux as an example out of any disrespect, but you guys know that Brandon Boudreaux is actually one of the only people that I know that has won a defamation suit. And it's because what a defamatory thing would have to be is an absolutely detrimental hit to your entire livelihood, to your entire everything. And as you guys all know, Melanie said a lot of things that were defamating to Brandon as a person. And I don't say that lightly. I say that because it's very true. So defamation is a very real thing. And it has there's a very certain line. Now, this is more in the realm where I also understand that my personal opinion is his music video was not defamatory because it wasn't focused on just one person. It was obviously in a setting of comedy, and I just don't think they understand that how defamation works. Now, the problem was the video went so viral that it started to cause online issues and things of that nature. So that's what this whole claim is, but we'll get into that in just a second. But they sued him over his music videos from the footage. So that's how he has the music videos. So he was next level petty. Let's just be honest, but it's funny. We did it, America. We did it. Freedom of speech. Right on, right on. The 51-year-old rapper born Joseph Foreman shouted out to the courthouse after the Wednesday's evening verdict. He later posted the clip on social media. The case tested the limits of parody and the licensed artists take it to social commentary directed at public figures. The deputies collectively sought $4 million in damages. No reasonable person would expect a police officer not to be criticized. They've been called names before. Defense lawyer David Osborne said in closing arguments for the rapper and comedian known for his breakout 2000 hit Because I Got High. Now let's stop right there. I want to have that discussion real quick. When you go online, and I'm going to put myself into this position as well, you are opening yourself up to criticism. It is just reality. And guess what? A lot of what happened to me was involuntary. I understand how that feels as well. So I can speak from a lot of personal understanding. In the last few years, I've opened myself up to the public, which allows people to criticize and say whatever they want about you. And I promise you one thing, the online people on different places do not hold back a single thing. They will say whatever they want. The thing is, A person who is a police officer is a public servant. We just need to have that conversation. Now, you guys know how I feel about police. I do not have this hate for police. I do not criticize every single police officer. I think police officers are either good or bad, and I do not throw them all into one category. And I think it's very unfair to say if one cop is bad, every cop is bad. If one cop is good, every cop is good. It's not like that. It's always going to be like life, case by case. So let's just start with that. But as a public servant, I understand that Afroman had an unlawful search into his home. Not that they didn't go and get, the proper, what's the word? Go get the proper, what is this ad? What the living hell am I supposed to do with this 3D lady falling in a hole? It's not like they didn't go get the warrants and things of that nature, but the point is you are a public servant. You have a name and a badge number that you have to share if somebody asks you. There's certain things and parts to that. And so you busting into his house and him making fun of you, I understand why it's not considered defamatory, but we're going to go through why they did that. The Adams County deputies said that they were publicly harassed over the viral videos, which were viewed more than 3 million times on YouTube. The videos show rifle-wielding deputies busting down Afroman's door, searching his shoes and suit pockets, and hungrily eyeing a cake on the kitchen table. We'll go over that in a minute. Inspiring one of the song titles, Lemon Pound Cake. It was basically about, in the video, it looks like one of the officers is looking at one of the pound cakes and it looks like he wants to eat it. And so he went crazy on it. But I'm going to give both sides here. Okay. I'm going to go to both sides here. In the other music videos, Afroman took aim at the deputies' personal lives, calling them crooked cops because of $400 that went missing in the raid. Police officers shouldn't be stealing civilians' money, the rapper testified this week. The whole thing is an outrage. In court, wearing a red and white blue American flag, he defended his work in First Amendment grounds, and he said issued and diss tracks over cover damages from the raid, including a broken gate from the front door. No charges were filed in the 2022 raid, which the warrant said was part of a drug and kidnapping. Very serious, by the way. That's very, very serious charge if they walked in and found people and drugs. Okay. Investigation. And in his testimony, he said he had the right to tell his friends and fans what the police had done. He said the raid traumatized his children, who were then 10 and 12. Okay. So let's go from both sides again. Imagine being in your freaking house and the police force with your children come busting up in there off of a false claim of drugs and kidnapped human beings in your home. I'd be pissed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be very upset, and I don't even know how I would react, because my kids are little. And so that would traumatize my children, and that would scare them to death. That would scare me to death, and that would piss me off. And by the way, Afroman wasn't home. So it was his wife and his children. And so he's not even there to do anything about it. Right. The whole raid was a mistake, and all of this is their fault. If they hadn't wrongfully raided my house, there wouldn't be a lawsuit. I would not know their names, Foreman said. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system, and there would be no songs, nothing. Now, I also want to go into another position here. The officers themselves also did probably not choose to be there. They're doing their jobs. So I understand why they're a little bit upset, because I'm pretty sure the officers did not come together as a group and say, hey, let's go raid his house. Somebody made that call. And then the guys who raided the house did the action. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at this thing from the whole perspective to understand where we're coming from here. In my opinion, I think the only thing that I can agree with the officers on is that they were not there to try to attack, specifically go after Afroman. They're probably doing their freaking job. That's what I'll say. Now, again, I understand, though, if I were Afroman, how pissed I would be if somebody busted up in my house, tore my gate open, tore my freaking door off the hinges, scared the living hell out of my family, and the only thing I did to clap back was make fun of them. You already know how much I've made fun of Lori and them. So come on. I don't think it's wrong to make fun of them. I think we've gotten to the point where it's a little sensitive, but they're saying they're receiving harassment, and so they're trying to get the money. But to give it all to him over him being upset and being wrongfully raided, come on now. None of us would want that. We've got to see it for what it is. Nobody in this freaking chat would want their house busted up into over a false claim like that, especially something that serious. The lyrics of "Will you help me repair my door?" addressed the police directly. Did you find what you were looking for? Would you like a slice of lemon pound cake? You take as much as you want to take. There must be a big mistake. The video slows down, showing an officer holding a gun next to the cake stand in Afroman's kitchen. Then he raps, "The warrant said narcotics and kidnapping. Are you kidding? I make money rapping, and you crooked cops need to stop it. There's no kidnapping victims in my suit pockets." As soon as it shows the officer searching his closet. I mean, again, I understand. I understand where he's coming from. The deputies in their testimony said the songs ridiculed them. Deputy Lisa Phillips said the rapper created a derogatory music video that questioned her gender and sexuality. Sergeant Randy Walters said that his child had been hazed at school over Afroman's post and came home crying, which obviously would suck. I get that because it's not the kid's fault. So if that actually happened, that's sad and that's unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother topic for another time for right now. Where in the world is it okay to make something up for fun that's damaging to others when you know is an absolute lie, he asked. Well, the problem is, I mean, what was the lie? I'd have to see the lie. I did watch some of the court stuff, but I don't know. Afroman's lawyer in closing arguments said it was not unusual for artists to engage in social commentary to exaggerate. Robert Killinger represents the deputy, said Afroman lied about the 7 brave deputy sheriffs over the past 3 years. Even if somebody does something that hurts you, that you think is wrong, like a search warrant and execution that you think is unfair, that does not justify telling intentional lies designed to hurt people, he argued. Anyway, then there's the clip after. I don't know, Colby. Guns came in drawn, not at your shoulder or leg, your face, and every time, at least in my county, they all get the hypey. Best advice yet. I agree. My biggest thing is to like, we need to understand when you watch the. Let me see if I can find it for real quick for you guys. Let me see if I can show you the raid, because I think you guys need to see the context too. Because I'm telling you, like, it's freaking terrifying. I just want. Well, here's the music video, but I don't necessarily want to play that. Okay, let me see if I can share this with you with no sound, because Afroman's not about to come to get me, brother. Listen, brother, just because you got high doesn't mean you need to get me demonetized over this. Okay, I'm going to mute it. So this is the raid. Again, guns ready to go, door busted, off. Pretty crazy. We got freaking assault rifles. Yeah, bro, it's serious. They're gonna keep. I think he's just. This is the song. I'm not playing it. Okay, here's the pound cake boy. Here, he's looking at the pound cake, and that's what made that whole thing. This is next level Fetty, though. It is. You got to tell me. You got to say what it is, but. I think in this situation, if you actually go listen to it, it's not that defamatory, in my personal opinion. We've already talked about this. Comedy has really, really, really become this thing where it's so unsafe. But I mean, guns drawn is wild. But they went through every single thing. But to rewind 1,000 times is so petty, bro. It's so petty. But they're going through everything he has. You know what I mean? We have to understand. Is that cake? Is that cake? Exactly. He saw it. He was like, what is that? Bro, because like you're in someone's freaking house, man. That's crazy. But this would be hard. Like, I just want us to do that real quick. Put yourself in his shoes. Imagine being raided at gunpoint, and this is what you're having to deal with over something that's not true at all, over a false claim. So what happened was there was an informant that was anonymous, that was a former supposedly employee of his, and The employee said that they had been intimate for like 8 years out of the 10 or something of that nature. A long time employee said that she was constantly flying out with him to different dispensaries and seeing tons and tons of large amounts of cash, and that she was intimate with him. And so he like trusted her and she saw stuff. And then she claimed that that's where she saw people in the basement with people who were locked up and tied down in the basement and going to the bathroom in buckets. And so very serious accusation, man. Very, very, very serious accusation to throw out into the world. And he had no idea this was coming. So that's why. And there's nobody in his basement, but whatever. But they're in his closet. He's going over the door in his gate. I don't know what happened to his gate, but anyway, that's what that whole situation is. But hold on, where the frick did I go? Whoa, brother, where am I? Can I come back? All right, I'm getting rid of you, and then I'll be safe. There I am. To quote Grey's Anatomy, hold on, I gotta read this. What exactly constitutes a pound cake? I don't know, man. I don't know what a pound cake is. I don't know what any of these desserts are, to be honest with you. Okay, listen, Kathy. Now we're turning. We went from Grey's Anatomy to 50 Shades of Grey. Slow it down. Oh boy. What a way to end off the show here with you two. You two over here with Judge McDreamy and McSteamy. Stop these freaking names, bro. We got to chill. McSteamy. This is getting out of control here. Listen, I don't know anything about that show. I don't want to watch a bunch of doctors who are halfway through a 12 to 15-hour shift making out next to blood bags. I'm sorry. I've watched House. I watched them get it on in there. Like, just chill. I mean, like, you're in the hospital. People, that's that why I can't get you to come in when I press the button, because McSteamy's got McSteamy's got you out here next to my freaking blood results, and I gotta wait till you come back because you're out here getting it on next to my blood bag. Come on. I'll get it myself if I can get out of the room. If I wasn't attached to the IV, I'll go get it myself when I'm in the hospital. Sheesh. Tell McSteamy to go home. I did like House though, I'll tell you that. Our show is with my ADHD is never going to go well unless I keep us on topic here. But I want to say thank you guys for being here tonight. You know that I absolutely love you and appreciate you. One thing I've wanted to do is just say thank you for being patient with me and this whole transition. I know this show is new. I know it's different, but I'm really excited about it because it gives us the opportunity to touch on a lot of different topics. Soon, I want you guys to know, if you would like to be featured on the show, please email me at askcolbyj@gmail.com. We're going to have some segments where we're going to need 2 people who are willing to talk about subjects, and I'm going to play Judge Colby out here, and we're going to have good, clean fun. Okay? Keep it clean because I'm trying to. I won't say anything bad. But if you're interested in being on the show, we'll have different segments and things you guys can join in on. And I'd love to be able to email you guys directly and give you guys links and stuff. So if we talk before the show, you'll know, and I'll let you know kind of what time we'll be doing the segment. And then I'll send you guys a private invite that you guys can jump onto the stream with, and we'll go from there. But I'm glad, man. I absolutely love talking about life and the world with you, getting your guys' perspectives on everything that is going on. Let me tell you something. I have one thing. Yes, couple therapy. If you guys have an issue you'd like to bring to the channel and you are a couple, I got you. We'll do a little mediation here. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, and we're going to have a lot more call-ins and things like that too. So just so you know, if I send you guys the link in the chat, that link is not just a FaceTime. You don't have to be on screen with me. You can just use your voice. So if you guys do not feel like, okay, I don't want to be on camera, but I want to be a part of this conversation, excuse me, the next time we do one of those segments, you guys can just call in from the link that I send you. So don't worry about that. Oh my gosh. I hope you're ready. We're done with Grease. We did our Grease. I gave you guys a chance. Everybody likes Grease too. That's great. Good. But I'll be honest, I'm now a Grease 1 lover. I mean, it's just, the Grease 1 is just, it's so iconic And I mean, it's just overall the music quality, the dancing, the cinematography. Grease 1 is a great movie. Just takes the pound cake, you know what I mean? So that's the last thing I'll say about it. Grease 2, I for how many years did I say it was better? My whole life. But I finally changed it. Brandon already knows. Guys, I can't do it. I told our Discord, I told the mods I'd try to give you an April Fool's. I can't even get through it. I'm freaking lying. Grease 2 is better. And I'm never going to change my mind. So yeah, you wish. Now I have one thing to end on. I will say this. I have one thing to end on here. And you know what? I'm going to out the whole freaking state right now, whatever the case may be. This is not to be disrespectful. This is crazy. I have had 3 touches of contact to be an advocate for guess who? Chad Daybell in his appeals, to know what he was like before this happened, before he was convicted. 3 times I've been asked to advocate for his appeals as someone who knows Chad Daybell. Can I go ahead and be very clear that I've never met Chad Daybell? I've seen him in court. I've never spoken to him. I do not know who he is. And I'm going to tell you, I think he's a piece of garbage. And I think he's an unrepentful person. And I think that he is a lot of other words that I'm not going to say on a PG-13 show. But I'll tell you right now, I am not playing an April Fool's joke on you. I keep forgetting that that is something that I keep getting contacted on to be I kid you not, somebody who speaks on his behalf for his appeals. Me, to speak on the goodness of him as a person for his appeal. So just want to put that out there. Just want to go ahead and let you know the kind of crap that's happening over on this side. And you know what, state of Idaho? I don't know if you're just doing your job. I don't know if if you just don't understand the disconnect here, but if you're watching this video, I really hope you understand how tone deaf that is and how much I do not appreciate that, and how I'm not cannot, even if I had the slightest interest in telling you anything about Chad, could, because I've never met him and I don't know him. So you can take that and stick it where the sun don't shine. All right. Whew. That's a good way to end the show, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I absolutely love our community. Thank you for being a part of it. And Stacey, you're actually absolutely right. The unrated version, the rated R version, is in the Discord. If you are a chief, if you are missing out, if you are a chief or a motherfucking one and you're not in the Discord, where the frick you at? Because that's where we're going to be doing segments of the show for you guys as members. Also, we'll get that too. But the Discord is just raw, just our thoughts happening in real time. But I keep forgetting to tell you guys that because they just keep coming at me. They're very persistent. They really want me to talk on Chad Daybell's behalf to help in his appeals. I will never understand why and I'm just going to say it from the third person. If I saw that they were constantly trying to get a victim, like let's say, perfect example is like Amy Richins or their family members to speak for Corey for her appeal, I would be outraged for them. Just so you know. Just so you know. I would be outraged for that family. So that's why I'm trying to just keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it moving. Guys, I love you. I will see you. Today is already Wednesday, which is crazy. We're going to go for the rest of the week. We got Thursday, Friday. We got Easter coming up. I'd love to talk a little bit more about what you guys are doing for Easter. I love hearing people's different traditions and things like that for holidays. But other than that, I'm Colby J. Ryan. I absolutely love you guys, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Love you guys and appreciate you. Thank you.